second day of this series of hops. Probably be a third one tomorrow. Today we're heading to a place called Figueira da Foz. This place, Figueira da Foz, is the last place that there's a confirmed sighting of one of the pods of orcas that interacts with boats. We are staying firmly under 20 metres, keeping in shallow, which is what all the recommendations say. So this is Figueira da Foz, and we've had to stop here a couple of days because Hazel had an issue with her battery charging from her engine, and it's turned out to be a marvellous spot for it, because we've been able to get all the parts we needed, no trouble. In the end, we've put a new battery in for her and a new alternator on the engine, and we had to also run one new wire through for the charging indicator light. That seems to be broken. But anyway, it's all up and working, and I say, people are lovely, really helpful here, and we've got it all done. What are we doing now, mate?
We are trying to, well, you're going shopping for food.
Yes.
I am trying to find a SIM card that'll work here. Yeah, basically the data plan that I'm with right now, they don't like it when I'm outside of Germany for too long.
Yeah, so next tasks. So yesterday we spent walking around getting the alternator tested, buying a new battery, buying a new alternator. Well, that came this morning, so we went and got that and fitted it this morning. Now the next task, this is cruising life. Big banana, but no fruit that I can see. This one's for sale. Nice little project. Ceramic tiles. Beautiful. Hazel's looking at wedding dresses. Oh. So we're underway. We left at 7 o'clock this morning, Figueira da Foz, and we're heading towards Nazaré, which is famed for its surf, and a place where I certainly hope Tapatya won't be doing any surfing. Yeah, it's about 35 miles today, light fog, light breeze, a bit forward of the beam. I've got sail up, it's giving us a bit, but as you can hear we're motor sailing. May get a sail later though. Forecast looks quite hopeful for a sail once the first few hours of the morning are up. That'll be good. Sea's very kindly, so it's a good day for it in that respect. And we're hoping to make a bit of progress this week. Well, I just heard from Hazel, and she's got the orca app on her phone. She tells me there has been an orca interaction incident basically here, but a little bit further out to sea in deeper water today, or it's up on the app today. It might have been yesterday that the thing happened, but that's an interesting one. Hopefully we're in 15 metres within the 20 metre recommendation, so hopefully we're all right there. That's obviously a bit of a concern. Otherwise, wind's very light still, hasn't really filled in. But progress is very good. We've got 18 miles to go, so getting on well. You come in there around 90 degrees, then you come all the way up there around 90 degrees again, so it's actually a very well protected harbour. Nazaré beach in the fog. Well, the beach isn't in the fog. The fog's just out to sea, not very far. high bows. See if we're going into waves. Little museum here. All got signs about them in Portuguese and English. Sol da vida. So we've decided not to take the cable car, but to walk up the stairs up to the city at the top of the hill, and we'll see if we regret that one. We're going up there. Hello Vera. And that fog's coming back again, look at that. This is where it happens. We're the biggest waves in the world, 30 plus meters I say, when the conditions suit. And if you watch our surf competitions, that's where they view it from, this grassy embankment. So that's where they're watching it all happening. A little bit foggy today, admittedly, but yeah, pretty cool nonetheless. So we're underway from Nazaré to Peniche, heading south, as you probably imagine. It's pretty horrible in truth. There's no wind worth mentioning here, but there's been a blowout of sea. Of course, we're trying to stay within 20 metres, which at the moment we're not doing because of this headland over there, which this is as close as we feel comfortable getting to that. But of course, you know, the blow out at sea is bringing in rollers, which once they get to the 20 metre mark, or the shallower water, shall we say, kicking up pretty lumpy. And well, it's a little bit better than it was now. I've actually got time to talk to you. It was pretty horrible for a while. But we're going forwards. We're doing nearly 4 knots in awkward conditions. Well, we've done a lot of it in the 20 metre line, but the truth of the matter is, you know, I now know from experience that the 20 metre mark is pretty hard to stick to on this leg at the very least. So, you know, it's all very well talking about 20 metres and that, but sometimes that is not really possible. And this leg is, well, you'd have to be flat calm for it to be possible on this leg, I think. So there we go, that's my experience of the day. Grey day, motoring, got the main up to steady us, that's all it's doing, steadying. And we're just plugging on really. I tell you what guys, 20 metres isn't far off a land. We're, yeah, just about on the 20 metre line here. And there's the land just there. It's pretty close. Plenty close enough, that's for sure. Well, there was no time to film anything, but man, that was pretty there was some big swells coming around the headland there, and pretty full on, and then had this lovely trawler, no, crab pot fishing boat coming across, and as I come round the corner there were 2 fishing boats and a ferry coming up the other way, and it was pretty full on. For a while I didn't know where I was going to go to avoid them all, but then there was enough water to tuck in fairly close to the headland where the swells are at their biggest. And I dived through there, and it was, I say, full on, but we're into calm water now. Round it, settled right down. I've just tied off the foresail, just sailing in the last little bit, and into the anchorage to get the hook down, have a rest. Phew-wee. So up at 6 this morning, underway at 6:30, on our way to Cascais. Light, very hint of breeze, motor sailing, just got the main up, dead downwind. Waves are small, which is smaller than expected, to be honest, which is very nice. So a little bit of haze about, but making decent speed. It's quite a long trip, this one, hence first light start. It's about 45 miles when you stick to the 20-metre line, curving around the various bays. And then there's a cape that we need to round before we get to Cascais, and as ever, the time we get there is when the wind is forecast to actually start. So we're going to get the most wind around the cape. What a surprise. Should be a little bit lively, or could be a bit lively, we'll see what we actually get. But at the moment, we've been underway about an hour, made really good speed, over 4 knots. And I'm pleased with progress. It's going to be a long day, so it's getting sort of hazier, foggier up ahead, but not too bad. Visibility's all right. Very, very gentle conditions, which is good. And I've said before that this coast is a challenge. It's a bit all or nothing in terms of wind. It seems you either get over 20 knots or not much at all. And for small boats, that's over 20 knots and big waves that you'll get with those sort of conditions. It's not ideal for small boat sailors. So for us, it's been quite a lot of motoring. We've sailed whenever we can, of course, but the motor's worked hard. My little 10 horsepower Volvo Penta has done wonders. And TP steers the whole way, which is nice. Also a brilliant job. Tapatya has had a good test, and she's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So great little team between them. And I sit here and press the button now and again. There's a bit of it's not easy going this coast. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if you decide to come down here, especially with the orca situation, staying within 20 metres, when waves are running 20 metres, they're starting to get bigger at that depth, so it's not the ideal spot to be. Today is, I say, it's very calm, so it's no problem, but it has its challenges, most certainly. Got the trusty foghorn out. It's pretty thick. I can barely see Hazel. She's not far ahead of me. Hurts years. Here's one of the hazards of this coast. These are crab pots, brilliantly marked with plastic bottles. The whole string of them here. Passed a few before I started filming. Unbelievable. And they're about 18 metres deep, where all the sailboats are supposed to go, and we're supposed to see these things. But admittedly, plastic bottles are slightly bigger than some of the little floats that are used. This, as you see, is a row of crab pots. I guess the orange ball is the marking the end of the row. Stunning. And of course, if you run over them, they get tangled in your rudder or around your propeller or whatever. Basically, you've got to be really watching carefully all the time, and I have no idea what happens if you're trying to go at night. You'll never see them. Oh, I hope of seeing them. Cabo de Roca. There are 2 capes here that we're going round. Cabo de Roca is the first. Cabo Raso, I think, is the second one. Yeah, double cape, and then we're tucking into Cascais. And this puts us on a level with Lisbon, basically speaking. So a little bit intense coming around here. Trying to stay in the 20 metres, but that brings us very close in, as you can tell. And yeah, have to be on the ball, I think. Well, we got to the cape and all of a sudden it's windy, so I've dropped the foresail, 2 reefs in the main, we're still doing 4.5 knots. Plenty, feels under control, TP's happy. Yeah, no seas worth mentioning. A couple of big rollers, but the wind waves aren't anything to worry about. Trying to get back into under 20 metres because it's impossible to stay under 20 around that cape. So tucking back in under 20, then cut across to the second cape, Cabo Raso. Cape Raso. Well, we had a bit of an issue. We jibed. Remember I had 2 reefs in the mainsail and foresail down. We jibed and then got into sort of almost a hove to situation. TP was hard over, couldn't bring us round. Ended up dropping the sail, motoring us back straight. Now I've simply, look at this, I'll show you what I've got. A silly little scrap of sail up, 2 panels, and we're sailing at 3.5 knots. I dare say I could put a 3rd panel up and go a little bit faster. Now it's comfortable and easy, and it's very strange. And we're now doing over 4 knots on those same 2 panels. Well, I'm trying to give you a realistic impression of what it's like to sail down this coast, and obviously, you know, this is the summer months when the northerly winds are running. It's the best time of year to do it, and it is quite doable. Of course, there are a number of boats that we see in every anchorage, every stop, doing the same thing, and it's a standard route from Northern Europe down towards the Mediterranean. There's a fair bit of fog. It's ocean swells that are running up into the shallows. I think I've said that enough now. It should be clear. The orcas are an added dimension to the journey that make it that little bit harder. But temperatures are mild, so it's comfortable. You don't need too much in the way of foul weather gear and that sort of thing. You can sail comfortably in t-shirt most of the time. So it is really, it's quite pleasant. And the real bonus to this coast is the towns, the places where you stop. So Viana de Castelo, Figueira da Foz, Nazaré, they're all wonderful towns, beautiful towns that are well worth an explore. And coming up further south, there are more of the same. So from my own point of view, I'm really happy with the way the boat's performed. Something that is highlighted to me was the value of the sea trials I did last year, that 2-month sailing in Denmark, which pointed out a couple of things I needed to improve last winter. I did those, and since then we really, touch wood, really have had very little in the way of issues with the boat. She's been marvellous. The tiller pilot's brilliant. As I said in the video, the little 10 horsepower Volvo MD 2010 engine has been brilliant. It's all gone very, very well in that respect, so that is very pleasing indeed. And it's lovely to be here. It's lovely to be here in Portugal in a boat, having set off from Baltic Sea, Germany this year in a boat that I built myself. It's lovely to be here. But we're going to leave it there for this week. We'll continue working our way down that coast, making progress southwards. Thank you for watching. As ever, a massive thank you to the lovely people who support us via Patreon and paypal.me. If you'd like to join the crew on Patreon, I'm sure you know how to do it. Real-time updates, questions and answers, some exclusive content, it's all there. All right, that's it for now. See you next time.